Nigel Cecil, calling things out as you like it, especially for his fair-minded friends.
Hello, Chuckabutties! Greetings to all my fair-minded friends!
Cobblers to your fair-minded friends!
And cobblers to you too! Hello, Chuckabutties! Nigel Cecil here, moi, entertainment entrepreneur, responding to my fair-minded friends who get in touch with their views and opinions and ask if, moi, Nigel, with all my experience as an entertainment entrepreneur, will I sort of advise them and assess what they've said and give them my opinion for what it's worth, Hillary. Yes, in a sort of info-entertainment style. And this particular video, for anyone else watching not connected with show business, it may well be of interest because it concerns being a member of any organisation, or even the government for that matter, where you, the members, elect representatives to look after your interests. And you believe that that's what they're doing. But are they? Because the video I published 11 days ago referred to Equity and their Honorary Life members. Equity, the trade union for actors, variety artists, entertainers and other creatives across the United Kingdom. Now, the reason I'm following on so quickly from that video is because some of my fair-minded friends have been in touch and said, what about the Dominic Raab debacle? You know, his resignation, an apology sort of tongue-in-cheek and couldn't go anywhere else, could they, Hillary? No, we'll set that aside. And the fact that Lord Francis Moore today commented about the politicisation, have I said that right? Politicisation, yes, of those who may well be advising ministers. Because if that advice becomes politicised, is it going to be fair, transparent, objective, independent when they give that advice to the ministers? Similarly, if you've got an organisation like Equity where you elect the members to represent you, and that council, as it's called, take decisions, they seek advice from those who are engaged to give them advice. And what happens if that advice and those giving the advice has become politicised? And what also happens if that advice is so presented that you can't really disagree with it? And some said, well, Nigel, don't you think that's what's happening with Equity? Well, 11 days ago, I called for the decision of the Equity Council, assessing all the information from my fair-minded friends, to be reversed. A decision which said that the rights, the small privilege given to the Honorary Life members of being able to attend the annual representative conference at Equity's expense should be removed. So I said, no, I think without consulting the Honorary Life members, and indeed the money involved is so small comparatively to anything else, it seems disrespectful and almost shameful to remove that small privilege. So I called on the Equity Council to reverse their decision. But hereby hangs the crutch. Maybe, yes, it could be painful being hanged by the crutch. Yes, I know, Hillary, indeed. But hereby comes the crunch. Yes, getting crunch there as well. Now, but hereby comes the question then. If I called on the Equity Council to reverse their decision, the information sent to me indicated that they'd already made the decision. But apparently they hadn't made the decision. It was only made Tuesday of the week just gone, a few days ago. So the information sent to Nigel, which I have to take in good faith, and I always say I won't disclose where that information's come from, and I also wait until I've got it told me at least twice, then I can say, well, it's probably correct. So I assume that decision had been taken. But Nigel was wrong, Hillary, and in some ways, understandably so, because the only way you get the information from Equity is reading the minutes. And of course, the minutes of any meeting, like the meeting that was held last Tuesday, those minutes won't be available for at least 4 weeks until the next council meeting, when the council approves those minutes. So how do you get hold of the information? Well, some of my fair-minded friends, and I have to say quite clearly, I am not aware that those fair-minded friends are on the Equity Council. So clearly the information sent to me didn't come from the Equity Council. But it begs the question then, how did somebody know that a decision had been taken, apparently, and they were so confident about that they were able to tell Nigel, and then it proved, well, it came into fruition because the council last Tuesday, so I'm told, endorsed or confirmed or discussed the recommendation that right should be removed. So who is controlling, who is in charge of Equity? Now, it does seem to me that some say, well, of course, Equity now, you know, if the Secretariat, those are the top controlling things, and handing things down, you know, the tablets of stone from above, handing them down, well, they now do appear to have become politicised. Because I think it's fair to say the General Secretary openly acknowledges that they subscribe to the socialist movement, progressive radicals, and when one looks, some of my fair-minded friends said, well, have you noticed all the new members of staff now appear to have subscribed to the same mantra? So when they're discussing things with the members, if that is correct, do they give an unbiased opinion, or are they saying something that, you know, mirrors what the Secretariat wants, which might not be what the council, elected by the members, believe they want? But when the topic comes to the council, of course, the advice they are given is the advice from the Secretariat. And if that has been politicised, is that advice any longer transparently, objectively, fair on behalf of the whole membership? Now, setting that aside, we come to the next thing, because somebody said, Nigel, point number 2 this, I suppose, do you think that decision was democratic? And I have to say, looking at all the information, I have to conclude that it's probably in breach of custom and practice, the standing orders of the council. You see, because you have to have a protection for democracy. Because otherwise, you can have a council meeting one week with one group of 15 or so members, and then an emergency council meeting called the following week with another group who turn up and change the decisions of the council. Now, that's not allowed. If you wish to change a council policy, a decision of the council, if it's not obviously arising from another matter, then it has to be on the agenda with a motion to open that discussion in order to change council policy. That's to protect all the councillors so they have a right to know what's going on and put in their fourpenneth. Now, in this particular case, it appears that the subject matter, removing the privilege from the honorary life members, a privilege that's been in place, custom and practice, for some 40 years, was never on the council agenda. He might have said representative conference, but how would you know from that topic you were going to discuss removing a privilege from the Honorary Life members. You wouldn't. How would you know that somebody was going to put forward a motion to remove that privilege at the council? You wouldn't. Unless, of course, again, my information is wrong and it was clearly identified on the council agenda, but my equitable friends, my fair-minded friends, say they're not aware of that. In which case, the decision was ultra vires. It was out of order because it was undemocratic. There should have been a clear, demonstrable item to open that matter at that council meeting. So then all the councillors would have been known in advance that that subject was going to be discussed. So when you look at this all over, well, you have to say, sorry, the whole process here is undemocratic. It's not fair on behalf of the Honorary Life members. It's not even fair on behalf of the whole membership, because they might think, come on, Honorary Life members, you're removing this small privilege. You haven't done it with due diligence. You didn't discuss it with the Honorary Life members. Some of them have just found out by rumour. Sorry, not on. So that's why I understand one particular committee has already submitted a motion to the General Secretary, calling on the General Secretary to use his executive powers to reverse the decision back to what it was before this year's representative conference. Because the next council meeting, in the normal sequence of things, isn't until June, because, you know, they're all special council meetings at the representative conference. So there we have it. A motion, I understand, calling on the General Secretary to uphold democratic principles. In fact, what are you doing? You're whapping that piece of paper at me here. Ah, yes, they've actually written it down for me. To call on the Equity Secretariat to reverse the decision in order to confirm what custom and practice and upholding the democratic principles are fundamental to equity's ethos. So regardless of any politicalisation, that's what should be done. Uphold those democratic principles as the fundamental being of equity's ethos. So I hope somebody will take note of that. And I hope we can come back and say, well, you know, equity is democratic and it does uphold democratic principles. Reverse the decision. Yes, action. I'm coughing over that one, Hillary. Yes, action, executive authority, and bring equity into a courteous, caring organisation. Thank you. What? Oh, you want me to get more light-hearted? I was getting a bit serious, wasn't I? Yes, well, it's emotional, these things. And I've no axe to grind because my nearest equitable friend is not an Honorary Life member. No, what? Oh, the Joker-Rooney. The Joker-Rooney. We always finish off with our little Joker-Rooney. And keep everything coming, will you? All your messages. What's my Joker-Rooney? Where have we got? Hillary, what's the... Oh, this is about transparency. Well, it'd be nice to have that in Equity Fully, wouldn't it? What should you do if someone tries to sell you a what? What should you do if someone tries to sell you a transparent driving wheel? A transparent driving wheel? What should you do? Steer clear. Steer clear, and steer clear of politicalisation. It's a difficult word to get my tongue around, that one, Hillary. Yes, indeed. So please join me again. Keep your thoughts coming in. Have we got our strawberry? We're going to do the strawberry today. Well, now, yes, my little strawberry. Shakespeare, of course. Strawberries and blooming and love to everybody. So until the next time, please keep all your thoughts coming in, and I look forward to sharing my entertainment entrepreneur opinion with you. Thank you. Strawberries and love to you all.